Hello guys, thank you for being with me today. My name is Paul. This is my channel, Let's Get Money. Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 cars on Turo. My top 3 cars on Turo. I'm very excited about this video. I love Turo. I've grown to fall in love with it. I've been doing it for a while now, and it's been very beneficial to me and my family. So today I wanted to come and share with you about the top 3 cars I use on Turo and the success that I'm having with them, if any success at all. You know, one thing I want to tell you before we jump into that is that before you go out and purchase a car on Turo, you definitely want to do your research. Research the market you're in, okay? Because every market is different. Certain cars work better in certain markets. Don't just necessarily go out and just buy a car, but do your research. You know, one of the things I did is before I went out and bought my first car, I wanted to make sure I got a car that was that had great gas mileage, because right now across the country, gas prices are a little high. I wanted to make sure that people could get my car and enjoy it, use it for what they had to use it for, and get great gas mileage while they were doing it. Now, what I didn't know is the type of car I wanted. I researched a lot of cars, and I saw the cars that worked in my market. I'm in the Dallas, Texas area. I saw the cars that worked in my market, and I went to the dealership without really knowing what type of. I knew the model. I just didn't know the make. I knew the model. I didn't know the make. So I went to the dealership, started looking around, and I stumbled on my first car. And I'm gonna tell you what, this car has been doing so well. When I put it on the platform, it took off. It's been doing good ever since I've had it. It hardly ever sits, and it really caused me to go out and get another car. So the first car that I purchased, after I did all of my research and after I figured everything out and got myself settled into how I wanted to buy a car, because a lot of times my battle was, do I want to buy a car cash or do I want to finance a car? Now I would say this to you, buying a car cash, there's nothing wrong with it. That's actually a great way to go. For me, I wanted to boost to my credit, so I went and financed the car, right? But I was able to get a very low interest rate, so my payments on my car are very low, which is very beneficial because now I'm able to make my payments and also make money at the same time. One of the things you don't want to do is go and get a car with a very high interest rate and all of your earnings are going to your car payment, because your interest rate is so high. It just really kind of defeats the purpose. But it is a boost to your credit score. So my first car that I actually stumbled on was a Nissan Versa. I bought a 2018 Nissan Versa, and I'm gonna tell you what, this car has been doing numbers. This car very rarely sits. It's always gone. It's actually gone now. The guy that has it now, he started out to rent it for a couple of days, and he's been extending it now where it's going on 2 weeks. The car, it just makes money. It makes money. Nissan Versa, it's a very clean car inside and out. It has all the bells and whistles that a lot of people want, because nowadays people want these creature features. And I tell you what, when you go and rent a car, please make sure your car has some Bluetooth devices, backup cameras, hands-free, everything. People love that. It may not have all these features, but at least have some, because people look for these when they start to rent these cars. Of course, mine does not have a backup camera, but it has some of the other features. And I'm gonna tell you what, this Nissan Versa, I love it. It's been doing great. The Versa is the reason why I ended up getting the second car I got. There was a day I was on the phone with somebody that I knew they needed a car. They wanted to go to Turo and rent my Versa. While I'm on the phone with them, telling them how to go through and rent it, somebody else went and rented it while I was on the phone with them. So that left that person without a car. So I said to myself, man, if people need cars like this, let me go out and get me another one. My Versa is doing so well. I'm making money off it. It hardly ever sits. It's a great car. I love to drive it. People love driving it. Performs very well on the highway. I was like, man, let me go look at another car. So I went to the dealership, started looking around. My Versa is doing good. Wanted to get something else that was going to do just as well, because I didn't want to get a car that was going to sit. So the second car that I got, after I went to the dealership and stumbled on this second car as well, my second car is a 2019 Chevy Traxx. Now, I had no clue what a Chevy Traxx was. I've never really driven Chevys. Wasn't familiar with a Chevy Traxx, but when the lady showed me the car, it was definitely everything I needed. It's a smaller SUV, but I love the fact that it has the hatchback with the seats that can lay down, so you know, it gives you more room for storage and all that. This is my number 2 car, and I'm listing these cars in this order from top performing to the least performing, and my Chevy Traxx is definitely number 2 on my list. It performs really well. People love this Chevy Traxx as well. It's great on gas because it's a smaller SUV. It's not really heavy. It definitely has the backup camera. It has the Bluetooth. It has everything I need. Now, one thing I didn't say about my Nissan Versa actually came with a GPS tracking device. I bought it with the cheap GPS tracking device built into it. And I would say to you, when you get your cars, make sure you get GPS tracking devices. My Nissan Versa came with the tracking device. I had to buy tracking devices for my Chevy Traxx and my third car. But I'm gonna do a different video to let you guys know what type of tracking device I use and works for me, and I love it so much. So my Versa came with a tracking device. In my Chevy Traxx, I bought a tracking device to put in my car, but the Chevy Traxx does really well. It's a beautiful car, very roomy, very spacious. It looks very good on the inside, and people really love it, and it has great gas mileage. One of the things about it is I wanted to get a smaller SUV because when I have pickups from the airports and people rent my car, they're normally renting the car because they want the room. I didn't want to have a fleet of smaller cars. I wanted to add some addition in there to where people can rent something with a lot of room, and my Chevy Trax serves the purpose for that. So I have so my first car is a 2018 Nissan Versa. Performs very well, and I would recommend the Nissan Versa to anybody starting out. Let that be your first car. Once you do the research in your market and you find out what cars work well, look into a Nissan Versa. It's a great car. Next, Chevy Traxx. Love this Trax. It does very well. Performs great on the highway. Great on gas. Has the hatchback, seats lay down in the back, gives you the room for storage. People coming in, flying into your city, they got bags and everything. The Chevy Traxx is a great car. I love it. Beautiful car. I'm actually gonna post all these cars so you guys can see them for yourself. But I love my Chevy Traxx, and it does everything I needed to do. Now, my third car was a car. Listen, man. I'm telling you, this has all been a blessing. I didn't really know how I was gonna get the third car, but one of the things I did. When I bought my first car, which was my Nissan Versa, I had a 30-day window before these cars actually show up on my credit. So within that 30 days, I knew I was able to go and get me a couple of cars. Because my cars were doing so well, I put the first car on. A Nissan Versa, did great. Put the Chevy Traxx on there, did great. Never sat. I said, well, let me go and get a third car. I got the third car, stumbled on the third car, got on the site, stumbled on the third car, and my third car was and is a 2014 Hyndai Elantra. I love the car. Actually, Hyndai Elantra is my best car. I love it. Even though my Trax does well, even though my Versa does well, I love my Hyndai Elantra. I just like how it performs. I like the style of the car. It sits low to the ground. It's more sporty. I really, really love it, and it does well. It's also great on gas. Great gas mileage. People love it, but it's not as much of a top performer as my Chevy Traxx and my Nissan Versa, but my Hyndai Elantra does really, really well. My Hyndai Elantra very rarely sits. It's a 2014, beautiful color. Very, very rarely sits. It's always on the go, and people love it. I just actually rented it out today to a young lady who's gonna have it, and today I'm speaking to you. Today is Monday. She's gonna have it until Saturday, and then as soon as it comes back, another guy rents it on Monday, and he's gonna have it for the rest of the month. That's my Hyndai Elantra, and it does really, really well. It's great on gas. It doesn't have a lot of the creature features because it's a 2014 model, but it still has enough things in the car that people love, that people rent it on a regular basis. So these are my top 3 cars. I'm telling you, these cars do really, really well. Nissan Versa, number 1 top performing. My number 2 top performing is my Chevy Traxx, and then my number 3 is my 2014 Hyndai Elantra. When you go to the dealership, and you purchase your first car and you see your car is doing really well, remember you have that 30-day window. You can go and purchase you a couple of more cars because it hasn't hit your credit yet. So other dealerships or whatever doesn't really know right now that you got a car purchased. So you still had that time frame. And I say to you, just get out there, man. Just jump out there. I dived in the pool. I dived right in the deep side of the pool and started swimming. And I said, listen, either I'm gonna swim or I'm gonna drown. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take chances in life, and I took a great chance, and I'm doing really, really well with my car. So these are my top 3 performing cars. I hope this helps you, and hope this adds some value to you and gives you a kind of helps you steer you in the right direction to when you start looking for your car and looking for a good car to put on the platform. Make sure your cars are always 130,000 miles or less on Turo. They won't accept anything more than 130,000 miles. And you want to have a car that's 2012, 2013 or higher. These are the type of cars you want to use. Research your area, look for the best cars in your area. Jump on the app, do it, dive in, and have great success. My name is Paul. Thank you guys for joining me today. Please like, share, subscribe my video, share it with people. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Let me know if any questions that you have that I didn't answer. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll be talking to you soon on my channel with Paul. Let's make money.